Are central bank digital currencies, also known as CBDCs, something to worry about? Something to put your attention towards and realize what is going on? That's what we're talking about in today's video. So hello everyone, my name is Autumn Asphodel and I am a coach to help you live your best life and find your true purpose. In today's video, we're talking about central bank digital currencies and what you should be aware of and if you should really worry about it. So enjoy the video. Central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, are digital assets issued by the central bank that are actively being researched and utilized in almost every country. So far, the system is voluntary. But with the recent collapse of the financial system in early 2023, which stems from bad government policy, excessive money printing, and inflation that's caused by both bad government policy and money printing, the program to get everyone to use CBDCs is accelerating. The financial collapse goes back to 2020, when the entire world was locked down, businesses closed, and massive amount of money was being printed for your stimulus checks. And in subsequent years, massive amounts were being printed for bills that do not help you in any way. We must also not forget 2008, when the largest bank in the United States collapsed. The issues began even further back when the banking industry started, as it was designed to fail from the very beginning. The collapse of the banks and financial institutions is not a coincidence. Rather, they happen to instill fear within you so you no longer trust banks and move over to CBDCs. The unfortunate truth is, no bank should be trusted anyway, even prior to the financial collapse, yet people still use them, thinking their money is safe. Not long before the financial collapse of the banking industry came the collapse of the cryptocurrency exchanges, most notably FTX. There is no difference between the collapse of banks and FTX and other crypto exchanges. Essentially what happened was a bank run. People withdrew more money than the bank had on hand, causing it to collapse. The banks didn't have the money due to bond prices declining and the Federal Reserve's interest rate hikes, which also claimed to lower inflation. FTX's collapse was due to over-leveraging customer deposits with multiple crypto tokens, which ultimately led to a massive collapse of the company and many others that had funds held within FTX. The banks and crypto exchanges are one and the same. There is no difference. What was once labeled a conspiracy theory is now proving all of the conspiracy theorists right, because it is actually happening. If we look over the past few years of the banking system, of the economy, of the push towards total government control over every aspect of your life, it makes perfect sense why the CBDCs would be the next phase to be rolled out. And in early 2023, when we saw the whole financial collapse, the banking collapse, which was very easily predictable when you have all of the inflation, all of the interest rates rising, the bonds depreciating, and just the economy going stale in general, it was very easily predictable what was going to happen. So with all of that happening, I think a lot of people have been turning their focus towards central bank digital currencies. Is that a real threat? With the collapse, many people have lost trust in both the standard banking system and cryptocurrency. However, this is exactly what the government wants to get everyone to use their currency, the central bank digital currencies. Much like cryptocurrency, they are digital assets that are issued and controlled by the central bank. You could think of it much like a crypto exchange, like FTX, where the central bank technically has full custody of the funds that they claim are yours, much like what the centralized banks did. However, there is a major difference between a CBDC and a cryptocurrency. A CBDC is centralized, meaning that it's owned by the central banks, not you. Cryptocurrency on an exchange are exactly the same. But crypto, when it's off an exchange, is decentralized, meaning you own the rights to the currency and it's yours. As long as you have a decentralized wallet, you have the keys needed to access it. But if it's on an exchange, or you use a traditional bank, or even the CBDCs, then the key is not in your hand, and thus the money is not yours. If that wasn't bad enough, since CBDCs are digital assets and are centralized, then the central bank can see every transaction that is made to and from your account since they are the issuer of the currency. They will see every dollar you make, where it's from, and everything you spend it on. With this level of control, one can only imagine what they would do to ensure you spend your money on the things they want you to, and even limit your spending on certain things, set an expiration on your currency, or stop you from using it altogether. How will they do this? Well, it's centralized, and they own the keys, so you are merely borrowing their money. In real-world scenarios, this is what could happen. Imagine if government implements a carbon credit score, where each person is given a limit on what they can do that won't exceed their carbon emissions, all for the sake of protecting the climate, of course. They could limit you from spending money on meat and dairy products, driving, and so on, stopping you from using any money that could increase your carbon emission score above what you were allocated. It may sound like a conspiracy theory, but this is already happening now in some places of the world, with a social credit score and so on. Come back to this video in 5 or 10 years and realize that this information is true, and that CBDCs are a big issue for your rights and freedoms. So what can you do about it then? Be as self-sufficient as possible, grow your own food, have other sources of income, and be prepared for whatever may happen. Don't comply, no matter what, even if they try to take away your basic necessities. Financially speaking, cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, and owning land are all good investments. Crypto is only good if you own it and your keys are in a decentralized wallet. Otherwise, it's no different from a CBDC. But if they take away your internet access since you won't comply, then you must be ready for anything. So don't worry, be prepared. The collapse is upon us, but it's not too late. Let me know how this works for you. Have a great day. So CBDCs do pose a serious threat to your own freedom because they are centralized. They are not owned by you. They are owned by a third party, which in this case is the central bank. They issue the currency. They see everything that you do with it. They can shut it off and turn it off at any time that they please that perhaps you didn't comply with something. You exceeded your carbon emissions. You did something else that made them not so happy with you, so they can just turn it off at will. They can have expiration for your currency. They can literally do anything imaginable with the currency that you worked so hard to earn, which is technically no longer yours. At this point, you would just be lending it out. So, the real threat is that yes, central bank digital currencies are a threat to your rights, to your freedom. So what can you do? Don't comply with the system. The moment you comply with the system, you're giving them the energy and the fuel to continue to control every aspect of your life. So find some alternative means of perhaps making money and getting out of the system, whether that be various cryptocurrencies that are more privacy focused, that do not allow for tracking. Bitcoin is not one of those. Bitcoin is very easily trackable. Could be some other privacy focused ones that you cannot see the transactions that are happening. That is one option. But also having real estate, having physical products, being able to have a skill that you're able to trade, other people for. Perhaps you are very good at gardening, and then you grow your own food, and then maybe you can trade that to someone else for a service that they're able to offer that you can't. So those things are very, very important to do to get out of the financial system that we see collapsing all around us. So pay attention, get out of the system, and then focus your energy on more positive things, and you will be very successful. Be sure to check out the amazing merchandise over at Asphodel Shop for some inspiring designs. I'm sure you'll find something amazing. Also become a member. $5 up and above will get you early access to new content months before it is publicly available to anyone else. So I want to thank you all so very much for tuning into this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on CBDCs. If you're cautious of them, if you're in full support of them, or any of the other factors in between. So let me know what your thoughts are on this topic. You all take care, have a great one, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.